What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are doing well today. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please take a second, hit the like button for your boy. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
Give it a thumbs up.
Give it a thumbs up. Really would appreciate it. So today, we have to actually talk a little bit about what we discussed yesterday, because there have been some updates on the housing market. Now, we were talking about how there are a number of LLCs, Wall Street companies that are actually potentially crashing some aspects of the housing market by liquidating homes for 20% below what market value is. And how is this going to affect homeowners? Now, a lot of people are worried about the housing market crash, and we talked about what a crash is and why some people will be impacted and why others really won't be impacted. But we also talked about kind of how to protect yourself. But here's the other thing we need to talk about today. So not only were we talking about the housing market crash yesterday in parts of Georgia, parts of Florida, but we're also dealing with these problems with HOAs going up on their fees. And basically these HOAs, they're almost like a cartel. You know, it's like, even if you paid your house off, you still got HOA fees. If you live in a neighborhood with HOA, you can't do certain things to your home without permission from the HOA. And, you know, they're almost as bad as property taxes. Property taxes are another thing you just can't get away from. And even if you own your home free and clear, you paid the home off, you're completely debt free, you're not expense free, because you're always going to have those property taxes. And I'm not aware of a single state that doesn't have property taxes. Now, of course, there is some discussion going on right now in the state of Florida that the governor, Ron DeSantis, may actually be willing to eliminate property taxes. This is definitely some preliminary talk. I don't even know if an official proposal has come out, but I could guarantee that if Florida got rid of their property taxes, everyone would flock to Florida, and property values would go through the roof, because now everyone would want to live in Florida. So first movers would benefit, and of course people who already live in Florida would initially benefit from that. But you know, as the demand for properties becomes more and more clear and apparent, more and more people would move there, and property values would go up, and would ultimately negate the property taxes. But here's another thing that's going on right now, guys. Did you guys hear about the federal student loans that Joe Biden was basically promising student loan borrowers that, oh, you don't have to pay the money back? I mean, first of all, I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but me, when I borrow money, I pay it back. You know, and that's the basis of keeping a good credit score. You know, you could literally have probably a 740 credit score all the way up to 850 by just simply paying your credit cards, paying your bills back on time. But even more than just having a good credit score from, you know, paying your bills on time, it's like, it's just that I feel like you have to have good values as a person to take responsibility. When you borrow money, you just pay the money back. It's as simple as that. Whether it impacts your credit score or not, if you borrow money, just pay it back, right? And so what folks are dealing with right now is people are waking up to the fact that many different credit bureaus, Equifax and TransUnion and Experian, are sending out these alerts, and people are freaking out after receiving these alerts, because they're like, what the hell is going on here? Some folks are getting notifications that their credit scores have plummeted by anywhere from 100 to 200 points, and they're getting these notifications, and people are panicking. Now, why? What I mean, like, first of all, this creates a widespread problem for these people, because number one, a lot of people don't realize that there are a lot of jobs out here nowadays that you can apply for and qualify for, but once you get qualified, and they might even make a job offer to you to make more money, or maybe give you a, improved benefits package over what you have. Maybe you could work from home from this new job that you qualified for, interviewed for, landed the role. They want to hire you immediately. But then of course there's the final paperwork you need to finalize. You got to, fill out the I-9 forms or whatever, the W-9 forms, all this stuff they save for the end, because they're not going to have everyone fill out this paperwork at the beginning. They want to make sure you're a good fit. Why waste their time doing all this if they're not going to hire you, right? So folks are discovering that they're not able to get jobs because their credit score has become unsatisfactory. So that's one aspect that the surprise, credit alerts are hitting people with. All of a sudden, their credit scores are plummeting 100 and 200 points. But here's another thing. There's a lot of folks that are renting, and their leases are expiring, and they're looking to move to somewhere else. Oftentimes it's maybe to someplace that's more cost effective to lower their cost of living, or maybe they want to move to places that are just, maybe more pleasant to live in. Florida is a very popular place where people like to live because the temperatures are wonderful, beautiful beaches, white sand in between your toes, and of course a plethora of entertainment and beautiful pools. But if you're trying to get into a new apartment or even rent a home, if you're trying to rent an apartment, rent a house, they're going to pull your credit. And if your credit suddenly took a 200-point hit, good luck getting approved for that apartment or getting approved for that home. And it may force people to have to make substantially larger down payments on those rental properties just to get accepted. And they may not have an extra $2,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 for a down payment, especially an unexpected extra $2,000 to $10,000 down payment, because their credit score took a 200-point hit. Another issue that folks are dealing with is the fact that a lot of these HOAs are becoming so expensive. In fact, I was actually looking at a property, and you guys probably are not even going to believe when I tell you this. And let me know if you happen to live in a neighborhood with an HOA. Would you ever do it again? Would you ever live in a neighborhood with an HOA again? Let me know, guys. But I was looking at a property, and it was a condo. And get this, guys, this condo, the HOA fee on it was, I was looking at two of them. And one was a 2,400 square foot condo. The other one was a 1,600 square foot condo, right? Same, I think it was the same building. It's definitely the same neighborhood, because it's like a series of buildings. There's like 5 buildings in there. Anyway, the 2,400 square foot condo unit had an HOA fee of, get this, guys, $2,300 per month. Now, most people are thinking, oh yeah, that's not too bad, $2,300 a year. No, this is $2,300 per month, guys. And even $2,300 a year will be considered high, in my opinion. I mean, we own a couple of homes, and the most expensive home HOA that we have is, I think it's like $1,300 a year or $1,200 a year, something like that. Like, that's high to me. But this condo had a $2,300 per month HOA fee. Now I'm thinking, like, who in the world is able to afford these kind of fees year after year, month after month? Like, even if you didn't even have a mortgage payment, you paid off the condo, between the HOA fee and the property taxes that would forever and ever, amen, be due on these condos, would cost you around about $50,000 per year. And heck, might even be closer to $55,000 per year, even if you didn't even have an outstanding mortgage balance. Imagine you own your condo free and clear, you still got these HOA fees that cost you 50 grand a year. Now, to make matters worse, that doesn't even include your utilities. No, that doesn't include your electricity, your gas, your cable bill. I think the condo actually included the cable bill in the HOA fees, but still, cable bill, what? It can't be more than $200 a month if you're overpaying, right? So it doesn't at all help to justify a $2,300 per month HOA fee. Is absolutely asinine and borderline just almost illegal. It should be illegal for HOA fees to be that expensive. But oftentimes, the board makes these decisions, and I don't know what these people are thinking, because the board can't make decisions without the votes of the investors or the owners of the condominium units. But things just keep getting out of hand, and people just keep letting things go by the wayside, and things just continue to get worse. And much like our federal budget, where there's all sorts of government waste and bureaucracy and abuse that takes place, you better believe that there's probably a good chance that there's a good deal of waste that's happening with the HOA payments that people are making and what they're actually getting for their money. So how does this credit score plunge affect condominium owners and folks in HOAs? Well, the reason it affects them is because a lot of these HOAs, particularly in states like Florida, and I'm sure that there's other states that are affected, but I monitor the Florida market pretty closely because we spend a lot of time there and we're looking to invest in that state. And folks are looking at these ever increasing, and if you're on a fixed income, you're finished. You are finished unless you decided to put yourself back into the workforce, get a job, or start a business. But if you're retired and you're living on a fixed income, who wants to go back to work? You worked your whole life. You want to enjoy yourself. You want to enjoy your life. So unless you create a business that's fairly a passive income type of business, then there goes your retirement. So what happens when you're unable or unwilling to increase your income to offset the increased HOA fees? Well, you then say to yourself, well, I'll just sell my condo and move to somewhere else cheaper. Well, I would say that's an option, but it's only an option if you have good credit and or you have enough cash, whereby if you don't have good credit and you happen to have bad credit, that you could bypass needing to have good credit and just pay cash for whatever you're going to buy. Now, maybe you bought the condo, 20 years ago, and it's gone up so much in value that you walk away with $1 million in cash. I'm pretty sure you can find somewhere to live comfortably in Florida or Georgia or South Carolina or Alabama or, somewhere in the vicinity of Florida for $1 million. I'm pretty sure. But not everyone's in that situation. Not everyone bought a property that long ago that appreciated that much in value to have that choice, to make that call. Not to mention, not everyone didn't take advantage of low interest rates and refinance and pull cash out. So not everyone necessarily has that much equity, even if they own the property for 20 years. Some people needed to pull cash out for whatever reason, maybe to pay off debt, maybe to make another investment somewhere else. Maybe they reinvested in their property, or perhaps, like many Americans, they refinanced, pulled the cash out, and blew the money on depreciating assets and basically squandered the money to a point where they're now in a destitute situation. A lot of different situations that are out there, but I can guarantee that people waking up to this Equifax or TransUnion or Experian credit alert telling them that their credit score went down 100 or 200 points, they're not happy. So let me know if you happen to fall into that situation, guys. I'd love to hear from you guys. But anyway, there is always a solution. I will tell you this. No matter how bad things look, there is always a solution, even if you happen to fall into that circumstance. So definitely hit me up in the comments down below and let me know if you've found yourself in that situation and you need a workaround, maybe I'll create a video for you guys on that in the future. If you appreciate the content, the information, the updates, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys next time.